What is up, guys? It's TikiTakaHD here. Today bringing you another squad builder, and we are looking at the cheap Premier League team, which costs between about 15 and 20k. Not a bad budget for a team. And first of all, we shall be looking at Szczesny in this 4-4-2 formation, and he is one of the best goalkeepers, non-rare gold goalkeepers in the Premier League in this game, probably. This is just my opinion, but I think he is absolutely brilliant. He has stopped basically everything for me, and at 800 coins, he is an absolute bargain. He is so overpowered, it is unbelievable. His 84 diving and his 83 reflexes come out as a 90, basically. That's how he plays. He's a really, really good player, and very cheap too. And he's just stopped everything for me. And on to the right back, and that is Jose Basingwa, the former Chelsea right back, playing for QPR, and he has 80 pace and 76 dribbling, which are pretty good stats for a right back, but his defending isn't too great. As you can see there, 73 defending, but otherwise he is a very good right back, considering that he only costs 650 coins. I quite like to have the right back and the left back to have quite a decent amount of pace, maybe between 75 plus, basically, and Basingwa can get forward, and he does get back quite easily because his pace allows him to, and he does tend to catch up with the strikers, and he's not a bad player, really. And on to the centre-back, which is Martin Skrtel, the Liverpool centre-back, and he's not too pacey, but his heading and his defending boost him up to that 81 rated card, and he was only 800 coins there, as you can see, and not a bad player at all, quite solid in defence, but I can't really say much more about him. On to Jagielka, the rare gold player for Everton at centre-back, and he hasn't got the best pace stats either, but the problem is with this sort of league and formation is that you can't really get too many pacey centre-backs for less than about 2k coins, which is really what I wanted to spend max on players in this team, so that I didn't go over the 20k mark, which I haven't, and as you can see there, I picked him up for 1.5k. His defense and his heading are pretty good, though. 69 pace, as I said earlier, not too bad either. But the centre-backs aren't really the best. I do prefer the left-back and the right-back of Fabio and Jose Basingwa. And now we're looking at Fabio, 80 pace, which is the exact same as Basingwa. They both play similarly, hence why their stats are both similar. 80 pace, 77 dribbling, and his defence isn't too bad. But you know what? Both of the right-back and the left-back do get back to defend, and they catch up with players quite easily, so their pace really does help them out of that, and they are both quite useful players to have, especially if you have quite a pacey forward against you. And he wasn't too bad as far as coins go. Picked him up for 700 coins, probably could have got him for cheaper. And his weak foot is 4-star, which is a very decent stat, seeing as he can get back inside and whip it in from the left on his, well, he can whip it with either foot, basically, if you know what I mean. And on to Seb Larsson, the right mid from Sunderland, and he is a beast at taking free kicks. Hint, going to show you a free kick which I scored with him earlier. He's a very good player, 700 coins. His stats aren't too bad, but I really quite like him for his free kick stats. His accuracy is like 91, definitely 90 plus, which is a very good stat, and his pace isn't too bad, but you know, he's a decent overall card, and his free kick taking is legendary. On to the centre mid, Paul Scholes. I don't know why I picked up Paul Scholes. I just liked the idea that he had 88 passing, and he'd be quite good at threading the strikers through for goals, etc. And you know what? His pace, his pace isn't too bad. If you know what I mean, he is probably the lowest, has the lowest pace out of all the players in the team, but he doesn't really feel like it. His 69 defending, Paul Scholes is known for his horribly timed tackles, but he has made a few good tackles in the games I played with him. And overall, he is pretty decent. I bought him for 2k, and I think he's one of the most expensive players in this team, just because of the fact that he plays for United, and he is in the Premier League, and he is quite a relatively high-rated card. On to Jack Rodwell, who is partnership with Paul Scholes in the centre, and he is a pretty cheap buy. Not the best centre mid in the world, I must say, but that's coming from a Man United fan, so I might be a bit biased. I mainly went for him when I was looking for centre mids. I was looking at their stats, and I went for Jack Rodwell just for the fact that he has 5-star weak foot, meaning that he can basically hit it with his right or his left, it doesn't really matter. 600 coins, not too bad for a player of his standard. On to Matt Jarvis, and he is a tank. His 91 pace just takes him away from any defender. He beats one, he'll definitely go on and beat more. With his pace, no one can catch him really. His dribbling's not too bad either, but his pace definitely boosts him up to that 76 rated. Only 150 coins isn't too bad, and his weak foot, like Jack Rodwell, is 5-star, meaning that he can hit it basically with any foot into the box, and he is a very useful player to have, especially considering the two strikers that I'm about to show you. And here they are. Emmanuel Adebayor to start off with, 83 heading, 6'3" monster. Not too bad a shot either. Skill moves are pretty decent too, 4-star. And 1.5k, he wasn't such a bad buy. 5 goals in 5 games is a pretty good stat too. As you can see, his goals to game ratio isn't too bad. He's definitely a very good player, and I rate him quite highly in real life and in FIFA, just for the fact that, I don't know, I just like him as a player. I also rate this guy, and it is Demba Ba, and he is a tank, as many of you may know. 81 pace and 80 shot, 81 heading. He is a very, very good player, all round for his attacking stats, you may want to call them, and with two players in playing at striker that are both over 6 foot, they do tend to get on headers quite easily. I picked Ba for 3.6k, and he wasn't too bad. 8 goals in 5 games, that's definitely shows you something. He can just blast them in from long range. He's not too great with his left foot, I must admit, but when he gets on that right, he will be banging the goals in. Not a bad player either, but I'm kind of running out of time here. I want to show you some gameplay, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and like I just said, enjoy the gameplay.